Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another reading here at Transform with Rian. And we are going to take a look at what are people thinking when they stare at you. That will be the topic of today's reading. Let's go ahead and do a collective card pull to ground our energies together to receive the messages for your highest and greatest good with harm to none. Let's deep breath in together and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow, I felt like that energy got grounded real quick this time. So let's see what our collective card reading is for today. Opportunity. A great opportunity is coming your way. Stay positive and be open for an amazing future. Pay attention to detail and messages. Take action by following divine's guidance. So what I'm actually feeling from this card for all of us here with this reading today is to just be a little bit more towards the optimistic end versus the pessimistic end as we move through our day-to-day life, because an opportunity is coming and perhaps it's something that we feel like we can't trust. Maybe to some extent it feels like it's too good to be true, or we're wondering like, what's the catch here, you know? But what I'm seeing here is that just hear the opportunity, listen to it, feel into it, okay? Be very open as to what amazing things it can bring for you. And then you can, kind of consult with the divine, whether that's through tarot or through meditation, yoga, body movement, whatever it may be, to kind of help you with the decision-making process as to what to do with this opportunity. So be open, all right? You never know what amazing things will come out of that opportunity. So let's start with group number 1. Welcome, group number 1, to your reading to find out more about what are people thinking when they stare at you. So we're going to kick off the reading today with a Marvel card. Y'all know I love my Marvel superheroes, and I felt the energy very strongly to use this deck for the reading today. And you got the Runaways. What are we left with? Now, this card has been showing up quite a bit on this channel if you have been following my content. And in the reading today regarding this topic, I'm sensing a lot of things coming through. So the first thing that I felt coming through with this card is, see how there's all these different types of people here, like kind of running away. So what I'm seeing, that when people look at you, when they're staring at you, it's because they see a lot of different facets about you. And I'm feeling here that they can't quite figure you out. You know, it's kind of like you have a couple of different accents of style, of different styles, I should say, about you. Like, I don't know, maybe you're wearing boots, but at the same time, like combat boots type thing, but at the same time, maybe you're also wearing like a Hello Kitty bag or something like that, right? Like it's kind of hard to pin it down. It's kind of like, are you like a professional? Are you a free spirit? Are you like a punk rocker? Like, I feel people are trying to categorize you when they first meet you, or they're getting to know you, and then they start staring at you because they're really just trying to figure you out. You know, a lot of people, they get a lot of comfort from being able to categorize things in their life, whether it be people or objects or situations. They get that comfort and that stability and that predictability, that security with being able to categorize things, because then it's like now they know how to interact with it. But with you, I'm sensing it's almost like you're kind of like a wild card to them. So some people find that a bit frustrating. Not gonna lie, I can definitely sense that. Other people, they find it really intriguing. It's kind of like you're this mystery that they need to unravel to get to the heart of who you are. Now, the other thing that I'm sensing too is because we have this dinosaur here, right? Like if you know the Runaways, this gal with this pinkish purplish hair. I think her name's Gretchen. I may be wrong, but she has like this telepathic link with this dinosaur. And so the dinosaur is kind of like her friend, and she can, in a way, command it to do things, even though it's its own separate identity. It's not like she's mind controlling it by any means. But and this girl right here is an alien. She's like from another universe. And this one here is a witch. So, what I'm sensing about you too is that people are staring at you as well because they definitely sense that there's something otherworldly about you. So I wouldn't be surprised that if you were drawn to this deck, that maybe you identify as like a healer, a light worker, a star seed, a witch, a sorcerer, a wizard, or what, like even fairy energy. Do you know what I'm saying? So any of these like mythical, magical sort of entities, you have that energy about you that's very, very magical. And that's part again of that mystery and that allure. And perhaps you identify with this idea as well. So people can really sense it, even if maybe they can't put a name to it, that you do have some sort of special ability about you. I'm actually also hearing the word, excuse me, demon. And okay, don't freak out. I don't mean demon like the evil, scary things. But have you? There's this show that has like witches, vampires, and demons in it, but they're not demons like like biblical demons. They're demons as in entities that have this really creative ability within them, and they can like master things quite well, like a specific thing. They have like really great mastery over it. Um, and because of their heightened skills in this certain area, like whether it's art, whether it's finances, whether it's medicine, whatever it is, they know a lot of success. Okay, so I'm referring to that type of demon. Oh, why am I forgetting? It's like a famous like book series. And they create it into a TV show. It's like 3 seasons. It has like his last name, Matthew Goodman, I think is his name. Is like the lead actor who's the vampire guy. Anyways, if you know which book I'm talking about or which series I'm talking about, can you please comment that down below, because it's like starting to bug me that I can't remember the name of it. So anyways, all that to say that there's something like different and unique about you, and that's why people are staring at you. All right, now let's take a look at this card. We have Gnosis. Ooh, so this really hits home, particularly that kind of like last bit I was telling you about, because Gnosis is really about like knowledge and knowing, okay? And so there's something about you that people feel like you have not just like book smarts intelligence, like you don't look like an idiot, you don't look like a loser, like nothing like that. In the eyes of other people. Sorry, like my throat feels so dry. But you look like someone who is very intelligent, who knows a lot of things, who has like a wealth of knowledge. But beyond that, it's almost like you know things like on a psychic level or on an intuitive level. I'm sensing that actually you make some people nervous as well, because what I'm seeing, and it's interesting that we have this bird here, like a bird's vision is supposed to be very, very sharp. It can see very crisp and clear images from a large distance. Like think of the birds that like are flying way up in the sky and then they like dive down to the earth or to the water to catch their prey. They have amazing eyesight. And so what I'm seeing here is that people get a little bit nervous around you, because if you look back at them, it's like they will think that you can see down into their soul, like you can see down into the depths of their soul. And I'm also sensing too that you can kind of smell a lie or dishonesty, deceit, very, very easily. And I'm seeing like now I'm seeing like Scooby-Doo, like Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Like you can solve these mysteries, and it's not like, whatever murder mysteries or something like that. Although maybe that's your job. Maybe you're like some kind of investigator or private eye. But it's like people can't trick you You know what I'm saying? Like you can really, when you put your mind to it and your attention on, it, you can really like figure people out and like get to the bottom of their motives, their way of thinking, and whatever it is that they may be trying to hide or conceal from you. You can see it all, and I'm seeing this kind of affirmed with like this. Rainbow here, like we have red, orange, yellow, green, right? So it's like seeing all spectrums of light. So seeing all aspects of what we call the truth, you know, like kind of seeing the really big picture here. And not getting distracted by, you know, shiny objects or it's like, you know, when there's something that you want to solve or understand, like it's almost you're very laser focused, single minded with getting to the bottom of things. You know, like people, like they say, like if you throw somebody a bone, like they just won't let go of it. Like they hang on and they hold on to it until like, you know, they get the bone or the bone breaks kind of thing. So I feel like there's this intensity. Ooh, yes. Oh man, there is this intensity about you that is part of the reason why people stare at you. And it's like because of that intense energy you have, it's like they can't take their eyes off of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they can't help staring at you. It makes me think of like, you know how people slow down on the freeway or on the road when there's like an accident, whether it's on their side of the road or not? They like slow down, of course, for caution's sake too. But you know, a lot of them are like staring and trying to figure out what happened because it's like people's nature to be nosy, you know? And so I feel like that's how they look at you. They look at you because they're nosy, they're like intrigued, and they can't take their eyes off of you, even though they're kind of intimidated at the same time of you like knowing their secrets, that kind of thing. So, wow. Okay, okay. You with those like intense eyes, those intense gazes. Okay, what else we have here for you? We have door to romance. Okay, so definitely a lot of people are attracted to you. That's why they're staring at you because you are definitely, to some people, considered eye candy. Okay, you better work, honey. Thinking woman. Oh my God, this is what I'm telling you. You definitely look like someone who is intelligent. Oh my gosh. Okay. Um, Ain't no dum dums in group number one up in here. And man holding a coin. Wow, so interesting. We have like the thinking woman and man holding a coin. So we have sort of the representation here of the divine masculine and the divine feminine coming through in your reading. So I definitely also feel this energy of like balance coming through from you, that both your divine masculine and divine feminine energies are expressed in your behaviors, maybe in the way you dress, like maybe you dress sort of in like relatively gender neutral type clothing. Um, or it could even be that, you know, depending on your birth sex, so if you were born female, you tend to dress a little bit more tomboyish. And if you were born male, like maybe you tend to dress a little bit more stereotypically female, right? Like flowy clothes, short shorts, like low cut shirts, right? On the collar, that kind of thing. So that's coming through. The other thing that I'm sensing too, actually, is there's a lot. So remember how I said that you're very attractive? There's this energy of like lust coming through too, as when people are staring at you. I mean, look at this like Fabio-esque kind of character. Like, really, dude, you have this like wrinkly shirt that's like probably all the way unbuttoned, if not nearly so. And look at his eyes, y'all. Look at this man over here. Look, these come hither eyes. Boy, you better watch yourself. So I'm definitely sensing that, yes, there is attraction here and there's a lot of lust. Like a lot of that energy is becoming very lustful. So again, eye candy, I am telling you, like you are probably what a lot of people, despite, you know, the way you dress, you're like classically beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Um, and maybe that's why you throw people off, you know, it's because you have like this beautiful face, but some people, they can't like put together your style of clothing. It's like, why would someone with that face dress up like that? Like it doesn't match up, right? In their head, in their sort of like stereotypical mindset, or belief system, I should say. Um, I'm also seeing like a lot of green now. Like there's this field here, green dress, and the walls are even a little greenish. There's green, I'm guessing that's like grass over there too, and like the green lettering. I mean, this is, or box, this is like for all the cards, of course, but the green is really popping out to me. Um, and what I'm hearing is that there's also even a little bit of jealousy and envy here. It's kind of like a, man, how do you look that good? Do you know what I'm saying? So if they're not like attracted to you, um, in that like maybe romantic way, they're kind of like jealous of you. Okay? Wow. I mean, I guess I don't find that surprising, when it comes to people who look, classically beautiful or handsome, good looking, that people would be jealous. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We have the Hermit, the Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Ten of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Okay, yeah, so there's a lot that people really are having a hard time reconciling about you. That's why they're staring, because again, they're trying to figure you out. So what I'm getting here is there's like this childlike energy that seems a little bit innocent, that seems a little bit like smiley and happy, but there's also this energy of the Queen of Cups, which is very soft, very nurturing, very wise, very empathic coming through as well. With the Page of Cups, there's this energy of being a little bit self-absorbed too, right? So there's like this really confusing array of energies coming out from you. And again, these are like mostly just strangers, or people who are maybe just acquaintances or kind of like coworkers. These aren't people that know you very well, because if they knew you really well, then they would probably understand like all these different facets and layers that are to your personality. But people who are just getting to know you, like they're trying to figure out, are you self-absorbed or are you really caring and empathic, right? And here, even with the Hermit, I'm seeing that sometimes people like are wondering why you're alone. Like maybe they'll catch you like at the store, at the mall, or at a restaurant or at a cafe, and they see you sitting by yourself, or like going on a walk or a run by yourself. And what I hear them thinking is kind of like, are you single? Are you taken? Do you have a family? Are you like a loner? Like, are you stuck up? Like what? Like people are really trying to figure out like why is it that they see you alone? Okay. And they're trying to understand what your status is. That's for sure, right? Because they have that lusty romantic vibe. They just want to know, like, are you seeing somebody? Like, can I get your digits? Can I get your Instagram handle? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely that level of curiosity here. But with the Hermit, like one thing for you to know as well is there's that wisdom coming through, this like inner knowing, this knowledge that is within you, that comes from, yeah, okay, like maybe you have a degree, maybe you studied something, like for sure, but you know things beyond what people would just know in a basic like academic setting. It's like maybe what people might call sort of like life experience, like knowledge and wisdom that comes from that as well. And even like going deep within, okay, like through understanding yourself, you even have a better understanding of the world around you. Okay. I'm here with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm definitely sensing that some people, they want to definitely see if they can get to know you. Like if they can create some kind of bond or relationship with you, they can work with you, they can date you, whatever the circumstances may be. There's also this element of danger that they sense around you, where they're like, again, maybe you know too much. Maybe you can see through any of their, lies, half truths, omissions, whatever. So there's this fear that maybe you'll expose some of their secrets, even, okay? Or that you'll start to see them for who they really are, despite whatever mask they're wearing. Ooh, juicy, juicy, juicy. Okay, what do we have here? Eight of Swords. Again, they're maybe wondering why you are alone whenever you're out and about by yourself. There's this wondering, like, maybe you've been hurt. Maybe you are jaded. Maybe maybe something happened and that's why you're not in a relationship for those of you that are single. Five of Wands, they definitely feel like there might be some competition in getting your attention because, again, they recognize your attractiveness. And so they're like, well, maybe I do want to get to know this person or date this person or hire this person, work with this person, but do they already have a boyfriend, girlfriend? Are they already married? Do they already have a job? Do they already, right? Like they feel like there might be some competition for your attention, for your partnership, whatever that may look like. Six of Coins. Very, very interesting. So again, there is this really confusing energy that they're trying to figure out because there's this part of you that seems very fierce, but there's also this part of you that seems very charitable, very kind, compassionate, caring. Um, okay, I feel like that one's hiding. It's like, no, don't take me. Then we have the Star. Ooh, okay. So definitely, I'm feeling the energy of like being starry eyed. Okay, like people, it's like they're hoping for the best from you, and maybe they're projecting their ideal type of person onto you because you fit a lot of the pieces of what they consider to be their ideal match. Um, and they're almost like overlooking anything that sets off their warning bells or their hesitation because they have like this starry-eyed look at you, like maybe some celebrity, like, oh my gosh, you're so gorgeous, you're so handsome. If this person talks to me, like I literally might just die, like I feel that energy coming through. And we also have the Three of Swords. Ooh, okay. So definitely what I'm seeing here is part of what they're afraid of is like because you're so amazing to look at, you're so beautiful, and they have this high regard of you. Again, this wisdom, this thoughtfulness about you, this intelligence. They almost are afraid of engaging with you because it brings up these emotions or these notions of like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to talk to someone like you, to be friends with someone like you, to date someone like you. Okay, they're afraid of they themselves even getting hurt or rejected if they should approach you. Um, so there's that energy again coming through of this little bit of intimidation, okay, because there's something very much above average about you, okay? As I'm feeling into this energy, like I wouldn't say that you're someone a lot of people consider to be very approachable. And it's not because they don't think that you're nice or anything like that, but it's just like they just feel like they're not on your level. And that intimidates them. It makes them nervous. I feel like in some ways you carry a lot of that alpha energy about you, like you're at the top of your game. You're at the top of your field, when it comes to work, career. And so people can get a bit scared by that as well. And it's almost like as they approach you, they get the courage to do so. It's like almost they kind of hold their breath, kind of waiting to see what you're going to do. And they're hoping that you're really going to be nice to them. And I feel like, for the most part, you are very nice to people in general. It kind of reminds me of when I was in university, and maybe you've heard this as well. Like, I used to work at the library. My friend got me a job there, and there were some people at work there when I first started, and even when new people would come onto the staff. Like, as I started to get to know them and chat with them, like, I would say at that time in my life, like super friendly. Like I wouldn't go up to people and talk to them and be like, hey, so you're new here at the library. Like, what are you studying? What's your major in? And where are you from? Like, I'm not kind of that person, right? And so I kind of just keep to myself, but then I get pulled into conversations or I, need to interact with people for work and stuff. And then I start to get to know them. And, it's been more than once where people are like, oh my gosh, you're a lot nicer than I thought you would be. Like, I kind of thought at first because you're so quiet and so good looking that you were like stuck up or something. And I was like, what? And that's totally not the type of person I'm trying to convey out to the world, but everyone has their opinions, you know what I'm saying? And so I feel like maybe you have a similar energy in that regard, where some people just maybe um, misunderstand you, okay, and they fear the worst of you, even though you're really amazing, and not just because of your looks and your knowledge and stuff. But I feel like you're a really amazing person, in general, very empathic, very compassionate. So very interesting, huh? What people are thinking about you. Thank you so much for watching, loves, and thank you for the likes and the comments, shares, subscribes. Thank you for all the ways in which you support the channel, including letting the ads run when you watch. So before you go, remember, loves, that it's never too late for your happily ever after. So keep your chin up. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey there, group two. Welcome to your reading to find out what are people thinking when they stare at you, okay? So let's dive deep into this topic. And we gotta pull out those Marvel cards today. It's been a minute since I have worked with these cards. Could just be that I didn't record any readings in the past day or two. It feels like a lifetime. Y'all know how that is, right? So you have Spectrum, be blinded by the light. So, what I'm really sensing from your energy and why people are staring at you is that they really sense this light, this openness about you. You're that type of person that, a lot of people look at and they feel like, you're a good person. You're a nice person. And I wouldn't be surprised if you are that type of person too, where you notice like a lot of people tend to approach you. Like they will approach you to ask for directions, they'll approach you to ask for help. Like, if you work at like a retail job, for example, there could be like, I don't know, maybe two or three of you kind of clustered in an area like fixing some shelves or restocking whatever, I don't know. But for whatever reason, most of the time, if like a customer or something has a question, they're gonna like come to you and ask you directly, and they're gonna probably be looking at you and maintaining eye contact with you, even if the other people around you kind of turn and look, and in that way are kind of part of the conversation. It's kind of like they might ask the question out loud so that all two or three of you can hear it, but it's almost like by them looking at you, they're directing the question at you. Do you know what I'm saying? My sister's kind of like this. It's very funny. Like she says that she doesn't really like talking to a lot of people, but whenever we're out and about, like people like are drawn to her, especially because her hair too is like this really amazingly loud color, and so people will just like come up to her and like talk to her or compliment her on her hair or her outfit, whatever, her purse. Like it's really interesting. So I get this energy. Oh, you know what a good word is? Approachable. Okay, I get this energy that you are very approachable. And so people kind of stare at you because they feel like you're that type of person that they can trust, someone that can help them. And even if it's like you're not the expert or the boss or anything like that, like maybe you are the manager, of course, or like the boss, but people still feel like they're drawn to you, regardless of your actual, rank or status when it comes to the workplace. I'm feeling that kind of energy. I'm also seeing too, like, if you're out and about with a group of friends, like people will want to talk to you. It's almost like you're the representative in a way of like the group. I'm seeing, when maybe you're out with your friends and you're having fun or you're celebrating something, like people might come up to you and be like, oh, whose birthday is it? Or, oh, who's getting married? Or what are you guys celebrating tonight? Right? It feels like you're kind of like this person that people, I would say, most of the time subconsciously feel drawn to, feel magnetized towards you. Um, on another level too, it says be blinded by the light. So your light actually shines really, really bright. And because it's your light, I'm sensing that there's generally just this goodness about you, right? Like people probably feel better around you. People feel safe around you. Maybe people even feel protected around you. And also, what I'm hearing too is you just have to be very careful, because, you know, the brighter you shine, the brighter the shadows that are drawn The brighter the shadows. Wow, hello. Did I just make sense right there? Totally not. So, the brighter you shine, the darker or the deeper the shadows are around you. Okay? So, you just have to be very careful, I'm feeling as well, to kind of protect your energy. Because some people, they're staring at you, they're looking at you because they feel like you're someone that will help them. Okay, especially like if they're struggling, if they're having problems, it's like they will plead to you with their like puppy dog eyes to like help them. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people kind of look to you if they're looking for like money, donations, like maybe people who are homeless or something like that. Like I feel like they're kind of drawn to you. They have this energy, that they have this sense that you will help them, with whatever you can, even if it's like $1 or like your takeout leftovers from brunch, like I feel like they have this sense that you will help them. I'm also seeing like I don't think that many people do it as much these days, but there's those people that like have their little clipboard out in like usually in the city, right? Like downtown area. And as people walk by, they're wanting to educate people on some sort of environmental movement, human rights issue, something like that. And you're that type of person that they would want to talk to, like that they'll be okay with stopping as they pass by to like inform them of this thing that they're, sort of advocating for or whatever. Or maybe you're that type of person like, oh, can you sign this petition, right? Or even like, I'm also seeing, I noticed this a lot in sort of like the food court at the shopping malls here in the US, or even at Costco when people have like, they're giving out samples to try to kind of hopefully get you to buy the product. I notice like when I watch them, sometimes they'll be like, oh, hey, do you want to try this sample? And then sometimes they let other people kind of like walk by, right? And they don't say anything or offer to let them try a sample. Like you're that person they will always offer a sample to. Because again, your energy feels very open, very inviting. Um, wow, that was a lot from this card, huh, y'all? Okay, let's see what we got here. We got apocalypsis. Ooh. I'm feeling this kind of like savior energy here, okay? Like this apocalypsis energy is like death, destruction, tragedy, endings, that type of thing. And you have these like spots of light here showing through. And I feel like you're like this spot of light, and people who are similar to you amidst all this shadow and all this darkness, I feel like people are like drawn to you like a moth to a flame, again because they feel like, oh, you're gonna heal things, you're gonna make things better, you're gonna ease their suffering. Like people are staring at you, and I really feel, and like there's some energy where people are thinking they can take advantage of you. Like, oh my gosh, like this was not what I was expecting to come through for your reading. But there are some people here who feel like they could definitely appeal to your sympathy and kind of manipulate you. So that's why I was getting this energy, like be on guard, okay? Because the brighter you shine, the more people are going to try to use you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really watch out for that, my loves. I feel like maybe when I pull the tarot cards here, let's see some ways that you can maybe become more aware or identify these types of individuals that come into your life, so you can protect yourself. Because I know I'm hearing that you are really a kind, gracious, compassionate, empathetic soul. And there are people who need that for sure, but there are some people who will take advantage of that. So you need to protect yourself, and, in some ways, maybe even protect the people around you as well. Okay, so what else do we have? The temple path. Ooh, the word I'm getting is there's something very holy about you, very heavenly, very angelic, even. That's kind of what's going through people's minds. I'm hearing that you kind of have this like goody goody energy coming from you, like you can do no wrong, like you're so innocent, like even if you are mischievous. Now this is what people are thinking when they stare at you, okay? This doesn't necessarily mean this is how you really are. This is what people are thinking. Let's just make that clear, okay? That you have sort of this naivety, this purity, about you. There's also this like, when I'm seeing the temple, I'm also hearing this like very virgin energy, right? Pure, untouched, unsoiled. I'm hearing also very blessed. Like when people look at you, like they have this idea that you didn't really have a lot of hardship or suffering in your life. You didn't experience a lot of trauma in your past. And that's what people are thinking. Again, I'm getting the sense that, of course, that's not true, that of course, you have had some hardships and trials and tribulations in your life, as we all have. But the way you carry yourself and like the image that's kind of projected from you with these strangers is that like you are like pure. I'm hearing too that you're kind of in a way like what people wish the world could be like, untainted, right? Good is sort of like what people are wishing and thinking of when they see you. Anxiety. Ooh. Um, this makes me think of sort of when you look at these characters in TV shows and movies, like, the goody goody one, they almost seem a bit nervous maybe in crowds, okay? Because they're just so innocent in a way. Um, and so maybe some people think that you're a little bit nervous in crowded public settings. It's almost making me think of like, even though I don't think she's the best example of this, but of Tangled. Have you seen that movie, Tangled, from Disney? Let me know in the comments down below if you haven't. Let me know what your favorite Disney cartoon movie is in the comments. I'd love to know. I'm a big Disney fan. But, Rapunzel, she's been trapped in that tower, right? For like all her life pretty much. And then when she leaves the tower, there's that scene where she's like, oh my God, this is so bad. I should go back to the tower. And then the other day she's like, yay, I'm free. And then the next moment she's like, oh my gosh, my mom's going to be so mad at me. I'm a terrible daughter. I can't believe I did this. Right. So it's that kind of energy that's a little bit uncertain, a little bit maybe nervous or apprehensive, right? I think I'm feeling there's something to do with your eyes because I'm really drawn to this character's eyes. Like your eyes sort of have this quality where maybe it's like a little bit watery, maybe it's a little bit like, um, is it doe-eyed? Or bright-eyed? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, I think is the actual term. But like these big doe eyes, right? Like big, wide open eyes, where it's kind of like you're just trying to take everything in your surroundings, right? You're trying to make sure you see everything and you don't miss anything. So I feel like there's something about your eyes that speaks to this like gentleness about you. In a way, maybe even a little bit fragile is what people are thinking. Okay. And I mean, at the same time, maybe that's not who you are inside at all. So it's like you really project a different image than your true identity to these strangers. Ah, look at this, angel of love. So this is exactly what we were talking about up until this point as well, where it's like you just have this angelic energy about you, where it's like you have compassion for the worst of people out there in the world. Like if you were on a jury, I feel like people would try to appeal to you to proclaim them innocent. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you're that person that they feel that they can appeal to your sympathy, to your heartstrings. They can pull at your heartstrings is kind of what I'm feeling coming through from you, and that's how people are kind of seeing you. Oh my gosh. So interesting. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Let's get some clarity on this again, okay? Um, we were talking about getting some clarity on like maybe helping you become more aware of your surroundings, in particular the people that are staring at you, that are trying to approach you. So maybe why don't we like tune into that a bit? Okay, like what are some of these people's motives when they're staring at you, that you need to know, that you need to hear for your safety, for your highest and greatest good, for your benefit. Okay, this card wants to come too. Alrighty, so we'll do 6. So we have Ace of Cups, 7 of Cups, Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, this is coming very, very clear. Eight of Pentacles, the Fool, King of Swords. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm running out of room. Where am I gonna put this? Well, okay, we'll put this here. And the Six of Cups. So, all right. So definitely, people are definitely looking at you as if you're a fool, as if you're naive again, okay? So when people kind of like maybe approach you in a way where it's like they almost feel it almost feels like they're talking down to you, or like um they use sort of like those pet names around you, like, oh, hey there, sugar, hey there, honey, hey there, muffin, hey there, little dumpling, or what. Like if they use those type of things, it's sort of like you can definitely tell they're trying to charm you, right? Or if they kind of take that tone, that's sort of like, oh, like, would you please help me with this? Like, it's been so long since, I anyone has been able to give me some money, or whatever. Like, I don't know, whatever they're like appealing or asking for. You know what I'm saying? They take that kind of like whiny, pleading, like, oh, I'm so helpless kind of tone, like, woe is me. Like, of course, that's going to be a hint already that they're trying to pull a fast one on you. And I'm not saying that there aren't people out there who are in need of assistance, but at the same time, I'm also saying, like, around you, they really put on a show. Where it's kind of like, oh, come on now. Like, you don't have to do all that if you need my help and you genuinely need it. Like, I am not against helping people. Like, please allow me to make a decision of whether or not I'm able to help you right now, rather than sort of like guilt tripping me and making me feel bad in order to help you. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, loves? But I'm seeing too, there's this energy of sort of like generosity, like helping out the community, helping out the people, working together. And also, there's this energy of like, you can help people kind of like make their dreams and their wishes come true. Like, they see you as the solution, they see you again as the savior, they see you as, again, like that provider. Like, whatever you want, whatever I want, you'll give it to me. You have the means to do so. You have what I want, right? Like that type of energy. And what I'm seeing here actually as a strategy for you is, rather than letting people like approach you, um, you can just look at this process as like you choose who you're going to give your time and your resources to. That way you don't feel guilty when you're not giving it to any one person, right? So, for example, like maybe you get approached a lot by people who are homeless. Like, instead of just feeling like, oh, I should, let me see if I have cash in my wallet or my purse, let me give it to you. Like, why don't you just like donate money to an organization that helps homeless people? Like, donate money to the shelter or something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Or donate like socks and blankets to them, jackets, that type of thing. And then that way it's like you're still able to do what's so natural to you, which is help people, but you're not sort of being pulled at and tugged at and, um, you know, um, overused, right? Um, or taken advantage of in a way, because it's almost like, something that someone told me once before when I was a kid is, you just have to be very careful when you're like giving things to homeless people. This was when I was in Hawaii, and I honestly don't know if this is like 100% true. I mean, it may be in certain settings and places, whatever, but they were telling me like, be careful when you give money to a homeless person, because if other homeless people see you giving that person money, they're all going to crowd around you, they're all going to ask for money. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of instinctual behavior. And so, don't kind of put yourself in this position where people are saying like grabbing at you, trying to get stuff out of you that you're not able to give, right? And just sort of take that initiative yourself to donate or give to causes, and maybe be more in the role of like offering your help when you feel you're able to, rather than responding to people asking you for help. And then you feel like you're kind of backed in a corner, and then you feel bad if you say no, but you also feel bad when you say yes when you really don't want to. Do you know what I'm saying? So maybe take more of that assertive, like initiating type role when it comes to that. Um, I'm seeing here too, be careful for people who are overly friendly, especially people you just met. Okay, Ace of Cups is all about like new relationships. Okay, so like first interactions, first impressions, like be very, very careful of people who seem overly friendly. Like if they seem overly friendly, be on guard here. And I'm sensing too, you might want to like excuse yourself. Like if you're not seeking help and they're offering you help and assistance, like I would just be very, very careful around that, you know? Again, you take the initiative. If you need help, you ask. If you're willing to help, you offer it. Don't let other people sort of pressure you into accepting or giving to them. Okay? So be careful of people who are like overly flirtatious, overly helpful, or people say things like, "Oh, I just don't want you to get hurt. I just don't want you to miss out on this deal. I just don't want you to, regret it later." Like weird things that people say like that when they're trying to sell you stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just be very careful of that. Um, I'm seeing here that you have a very strong mind. Like you're able to see things quite clearly, but it's like you again have this sort of like bleeding heart kind of energy, right? Very giving and loving energy, and it would maybe help you to step out of your emotions every once in a while and kind of look at things from a very objective standpoint and like look at what's happening around you and take in the actual information and from the senses, and don't be clouded by your loving nature or blinded. I mean, you have this beautiful light, so don't be blinded yourself. You know what I'm saying? By your amazing light. So these cards came out, so I feel like these ones want to like talk to you. So we're just gonna honor that. Okay, so we have the Page of Coins, the Chariot, and the Three of Wands. So people kind of see you as a stepping stone, as sort of like a ladder to help them achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. And I'm also hearing too, like it's not just people who are like trying to take from you, but even like at work when people are like they need help with a project, they need help with an assignment, or even at the house, like in your home, like people kind of go to you when they need something, when they need help, because you're sort of that like almost like guaranteed, like, okay, I can count on you kind of energy. Okay. And here with the Chariot, I definitely feel like a lot of people see you as someone that can get them moving forward. You can get them to a better place. It's like, you're that person that like hitchhikers would probably love. They're like, "Oh, I need a ride. Can you give me a ride?" Right? Like you're that person that would help lend a helping hand in that regard. Give them a ride like under your chariot, get them to where they need to go, get them where they need to be, regardless of whether or not that's a convenience for you or if it's on the way, whatever it is. I feel like you definitely have this energy of going out of your way to help people. And like there's this, again, this energy about you that people feel safe around, like these reindeers. Look at how they're coming to this girl here, and they're even like this one's like nuzzling with her. It's like I feel like you have that energy where like a lot of times you don't even cause panic amongst animals, like probably dogs and cats and other pets really adore you, or you're surprised at how close some animals come to you, like birds or squirrels, butterflies, because again, you have this very gentle nature about you. And so people can sense that as well. So sometimes it seems like people, like, yes, they have some good intentions. They know that you can help them. They trust you, which is all great, beautiful things. I'm sure that can serve you quite well in your work, especially if you're like a teacher, a counselor, a coach, a mentor, something like that, where it's like good to have that type of energy. But at the same time, some people might be like looking and thinking about ways to take advantage of you because they can see you in that role of a helper. So just be very aware of that. All right, loves. Very, very interesting energy from your reading. Thank you for watching so much. And thank you for all the likes, the comments, subscribes, shares. Thanks for letting the ads run. I really appreciate all the ways in which you show the support and appreciation for this channel and the readings here. And before you go, just remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after. Sending you all so much love. Take care. Aloha, Group 3. Welcome to your reading to find out more about what are people thinking when they stare at you. All right. So look at this Marvel card that came out to kick off your reading. A very infamous and well-known character for the Marvel Universe, Wolverine. On the bottom, it says, "When I'm alone, I'm in great company." So, firstly, when people are staring at you, they're definitely getting that there's some loner vibe energies about you. I'm sensing too, even when you're like sitting with another person or like when you're at a table with a group of people, um, or just hanging around with a group of people, there's something about your energy too that kind of sets you apart from the group, that sets you sort of as like, oh, okay, like this person isn't as tightly knit with other people, in the sense of like, I feel like your energy isn't necessarily super duper chatty, right? Like, I don't know if you've ever like looked at groups of people, like there's always that one who kind of looks like the quiet one, who kind of looks like maybe the outsider, the outcast, the oddball, or kind of the someone, that one who's just like a little bit different from the other people. Do you know what I'm saying? There are some people where you kind of like, when you look at groups, like you can tell maybe who's the one who's chatty, who's like the heartbreaker, who's the jokester. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like certain vibes, certain looks, and you kind of have that look when people are staring at you, where it's kind of like you want to be left alone. You don't like a lot of chit chat and noise and distractions. That's the kind of vibe that you're giving off to people. A little bit, in a way, unapproachable. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. And part of it is like, look at how the lighting and the shading of this card is. Like, there's like darkness over Wolverine's face. It's a bit foreboding, and then he has his claws out, his adamantium claws. And so there's something too about this energy of like, people might be afraid to approach you because they're afraid like you might, snap at them or something like that, or you might be a bit cold towards them. Okay, so there's that energy that's a little bit repelling. There's this undertone of like danger, and I don't mean like necessarily physical danger, although maybe you have that look too, where it's like you're really big, really buff, and you could really take somebody down if it came to it, right? Like, you know how to fight, maybe. Martial arts or something, I don't know, self defense. So maybe there is that energy. But more so, what I mean about danger is it's like this danger of rejection, danger of having their like feelings hurt, their danger of maybe you being rude to them or short with them, right? Like where their sort of interest or engagement will be like rebuffed, rejected, right? Like someone would be like, "Hey, how's it going today?" And you're like, "Not bad." And they're like, "Okay." Right? Like, maybe people come approach you with that super friendly, bubbly, like outgoing energy, and you kind of don't necessarily reciprocate or match that. And they're kind of worried that that might be what will happen, if they approach you. Now, whether or not that's true, who knows, right? It's different for each of you. And maybe it's different depending on your mood on that day, whatever. But there's this energy of like danger here again for people where they're just not sure how you're going to respond, and it's like feels like a very big risk if they were to approach you. It also makes me think too, like sometimes they show on like TV shows and movies, like when someone is like really, really like intensely focused on like what's on their computer screen, or like a phone call that they're having, and they look kind of like angry, like the phone call isn't going well, and then someone has to like come like knock on the door gently and be like, and then you're like, "Come in, what is it? Why are you bothering me?" Right? Like, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to disturb you, but this is really important." Right? Like, it's kind of like that is how some people are afraid you may react. Okay. Maybe you have even like RBF. Do you know what I'm saying? Resting bee face. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have a friend who kind of has RBF, and we used to tease her about it when we were in college. Because the thing is, she was like one of the nicest people like ever, but she has that RBF that like really intimidates people. So it's like really funny that that this card comes up, and it's interesting because now she her face isn't like that at all. So I don't know what it was about our college years where she had that kind of look, because now that we're older and she has a daughter, like she actually has a very nice look about her face, to be honest. What else do you have? The medallion. Ooh, okay. So what I'm seeing here is there's this like confidence about you that people can sense, again, because it's like when I'm alone, I'm in great company. So there's this vibe about you that screams like, I don't need anybody's validation to feel good about myself. I don't need anyone to approve of what I'm doing. I do's what I want when I want. You know, like you have that energy about you where it's like you've already like championed your life. You know who you are, you know what you're about, you don't take no kind of crap from anybody. Like that's this energy that I'm getting. And people are, some people are kind of like, maybe they're attracted to you, right? And they're trying to figure out how to approach you without offending you. And some people are kind of like, also a bit amazed and in awe because they kind of want to be like you in a way, is what I'm getting, because they see you as someone who has achieved a lot, who has put themselves put together quite well. Um, and that could be part of why they're a bit intimidated, because they're like, oh, like there's so much more, many leagues ahead of me. Like they probably think I'm not skilled and capable, and I'm like going to be a nuisance if I ask them to kind of like mentor me or answer my questions, like that kind of thing. Um, and so they really, I feel like a lot of people too, they can even idolize you. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're a bit of a public figure. Okay, so maybe you're in some type of politics, maybe you're like on some type of board or commission, maybe you are like the president of some type of association, maybe, you know, you're like the manager or CEO or something, right? Or maybe you're considered an expert in your field of study and employment, whatever it is. And so a lot of people, when they're looking at you, they're thinking like, wow, you're so amazing, you're so cool, right? So there's even in to some degree, I'm hearing the word idolization, like people idolize you because of what you've achieved in your life so far. Ooh, that's really cool. Congratulations, boss. Boss energy. Magician and the Mirror. You actually had four cards come out. I feel like we're totally going to run out of room here. Third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Journey. And okay, we're going to have to move. You're the last reading, so we're going to adjust this and we're going to move our little ghosty friend over. And hopefully we can squeeze this in. Can we? Okay, not really. All right. We will do this. I hope this helps. Just a little bit of overlap. All right, good enough. So what I'm seeing here is you definitely have a lot of people's eyes, a lot of people's attention. So just like Wolverine himself, he is like super popular in regards to the Marvel universe. Like people who aren't even into comics know about Wolverine. They know about like the Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, Batman, Superman, right? Like even if they're not really into comics and superheroes. So you are really well renowned. Like you have followers is what I'm hearing. You have people who are familiar with you and your work and think highly of it, for example, as well. Okay, so I'm seeing here that more people know you than even you are aware of. Okay, like people know of you, like your name probably floats around in certain circles. So I sense that a lot. You probably have like a fan club to some degree as well, is what I'm sensing. And people are probably like, oh, I'm part of your fan club as they stare and gawk at you. What I'm also seeing here with third chakra is people are thinking you're actually quite confident, and self-assured. I'm sensing here too that you are the people see you as like confident enough to speak your mind as well. Okay, even though this is the third chakra, not so much the throat chakra, but I feel like you have a very strong throat chakra as well because you have this confidence to share your thoughts, share your ideas. And the thing is here, like, I'm not even getting the vibe of like cockiness. It's just more of like you want to share these thoughts and ideas for the sake of sharing them and like getting feedback and even getting help with making your ideas a reality. So it's kind of like, again, if you're the role of like a manager or a CEO, like a lot of times they're asked to speak at meetings and give sort of like a company update, inform the staff about like new policies, new events coming up, new changes, like whatever those things may be. So people really look to you, and I see here that you're a very confident speaker. Um, and the thing about you is like you know when to speak. Okay, like Wolverine, like we were talking about earlier, isn't like super chatty. So it's like when you speak, it's important. You're not, I don't get the sense that at your core, you're like a really chatty person. Okay. People maybe they think that you like to speak and share your ideas because you're so good at it. But again, I don't know if that's true to your actual nature, but people are thinking that. I think I'm hearing too, like as I'm looking at this, that people probably would want to have you speak at their events, at their engagements. Like just the other day, I was doing like a soul medicine call with a previous acquaintance that I met like 2, 3 years ago. Like she reached out to me for this soul medicine call, and she actually said, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing like some type of podcast interview thing, and I would love to have you as a guest on it because I think you're really well spoken and wise and knowledgeable, and you would have some really good things to share and say." And I was like, "Yeah, perfect. Like, just let me know when you have it up and running, and let me know the dates you want to record it or go live, whatever, and I'll make sure to check my schedule that I'm open as well." And so I feel like some people would definitely invite you to things, whether it's to speak at them or just be a part of the event. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just have your presence there. Um, I'm seeing here with the journey that there's something about you that maybe people think that you have been through a lot and have triumphed and succeeded. Like you've overcome a lot of hurdles, okay? People are probably wondering, like, oh, what did you have to do or overcome to get where you are today? Like, I'm seeing that's what some people are thinking. That they're like, wow, you've achieved, like, they can, maybe they know parts of your resume kind of thing. And they're just kind of imagining and wondering, like, wow, did you have to go through to achieve what you have at this point in your life? Like, whatever successes that you've had. And I'm not even just talking about like career success. I'm talking about like maybe you've made it through a very difficult health issue, like, I don't know, cancer, or maybe you had a really bad injury because of some kind of car accident or sports injury, and you had to undergo like rehab and you made it through. So there's a lot of people like looking at you and like, wow, like I can only imagine the determination and willpower this person has and how far it's gotten them in life. It's actually making me think of this drag queen, Shangela. Let me know if you know who Shangela is in the comments down below. I knew who she was from RuPaul's Drag Race, but then I watched Dancing with the Stars, like the first season they put on Disney Plus. She was one of the finalists on that show, and I got to learn more about her story. And she was performing one night, doing her drag show, which is very energetic, very lively, lots of choreo, and she did like a death drop and she like broke her leg, and she had to like have surgery and undergo rehab for like 4 to 6 months or something like that. And some people were saying like, I don't even know if you'll be able to like dance ever again. And you know, there she was in Dancing with the Stars, dancing and making it to the finals, no less. So you know, there's these very inspiring stories that people from all walks of life have had going through hardships, and you're one of them. And people are kind of like curious to know like what's your story. Here with the Magician, I just feel like really you're magical. That's the word that I got from this card when I was like revealing them for you and I. There's something magical about you, something like almost undefeatable and very powerful about you, that people are like drawn to and they're thinking about when they look at you, you know? That you're definitely not someone to sleep on, that you're not someone to underestimate or take for granted, like that type of vibe. Wow, amazing. Okay, what else we got cooking for you, loves? Okay, so we have the Five of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Death card, Queen of Swords, and King of Cups. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is definitely what we were talking about earlier. Like maybe some people do know your story, or maybe some people are wondering, like, what did you have to get through to get to where you are today? What did you have to go through? Because, you know, some of the most successful people in the world are people who've really had to struggle, who maybe have even hit rock bottom before they elevated, before they reached this like insane amount of success. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I used to watch Shark Tank quite a bit because one of my roommates was really into Shark Tank. And you know, some of the people on that show, it's like they lost their job, they pulled they were at the end of their savings and they really needed to make something work, and then they have these like $1 million ideas, and are creating these amazing businesses, you know. And I hear about that as well, like in the spiritual community and with the people that I've been learning from who like write books, who are online coaches, social media people, right? I'm thinking of J.K. Rowling, and you know, I really love the Harry Potter stories, but she has been having like quite a bit of controversy surrounding her in the last couple of years. But you know, J.K. Rowling was like broke, writing like parts of her story of Harry Potter like on restaurant napkins and things like that, you know? And so from there, she went on to be a very, very financially successful author, right? And so I feel like some people look at you and they're thinking, you know, like, what was your trial? What was your hardship that you overcame to get to where you are? And that's what I'm feeling with like the death, the Five of Swords, feeding into the wands, right? Like you went through some pain, you went through some struggles, you had to become someone new, shed your old skin to wield the wand of power here, okay? This staff of power, and success, right? So I'm really feeling that here. Also, with this, I'm seeing too, you know, for people who maybe know you a little bit better than these people, you know, who are like intimidated, scared, worried, whatever, of approaching you, it's like they know you speak the truth. And the thing is, you don't speak it from a place of wanting to hurt people because you're actually very kind, compassionate, and thoughtful. Like you really understand other people's emotions and feelings well, probably better than they understand it themselves, to be honest. And that's maybe what makes you such a great leader in whatever capacity it is in your world, okay, in your life. But you do have a lot of compassion, empathy, and the thing is, you're so good at like keeping their emotions, and being very aware of your own emotions. Okay, that's that mastery that the King of Cups has in the realm of emotions. And you're not afraid to speak the truth here, okay? And you can say it in a gentle way with this combination here, okay? So it's not like with the Queen of Swords by herself, the words she says can be very sharp, okay? Very cold, very some people might say mean and insensitive, right? But because you have the King of Cups here, you can definitely speak the truth in a way that people can receive it quite well. And I think that's what people are thinking about you as well. Is like, how can you really show me or explain to me some really difficult truths about the world, about my job, about myself, whatever, but do it in such a kind and compassionate way where it's like I don't feel further beaten down, you know? And that's a truly a gift. Wow, that's amazing that you can do that for people. Um, Queen of Wands, or Queen. Hello, Ryan. Do you know how to read? King of Wands. And look, we have another like powerful wand there, and this Phoenix. So Phoenix rising from the ashes here with this Death card. So maybe your story is rather well known out there about this, like maybe rags to riches type scenario. Or it soon will be. So if you're kind of in a position where it's like you're in the struggle bus right now, like keep on going because it looks like you're meant to have success. Judgment. Wow. So I feel like you're really an example of what people strive to be. Like a lot of people maybe see you as an example of like good character, right? Like how people should behave, right? Like a good role model kind of energy. Two of Swords. Ace of Wands again. Dang. So a lot of people definitely see you as someone who has a lot of brilliant ideas, a lot of wonderful energy, passionate, aligned energy here. Oh my gosh, I feel like this card is like screaming to me. It wants to join too. So lots of extra cards for you in your reading. A lot of leadership qualities is what I'm feeling here. And some of it is as yet untapped, okay? Because you have two Aces of Wands and one King of Wands. So it's like you have all the ingredients here of a leader already with the King of Cups and the King of Wands, but there's still more. That you can go even further than where you're at right now. Four of Cups and the Chariot. So here we are again. You can go a lot further than you think, than you had previously thought. Like I definitely feel like sky's the limit for you, and people see that when they're thinking of you. They think of like, wow, what other amazing, awesome thing are they going to accomplish next? Like people look to you and they expect great things out of you. Um, wow, and I'm feeling too that people see you as like a beacon of hope, or they expect you to again be that example, kind of guide the way, lead the way forward out of any difficulty. Like you have that leadership skill, that knowledge, that wisdom, that tactical abilities, even, right? um, Strategic abilities that really can help people come out of stagnancy, come out of difficulties or struggles, and that you can see things that maybe other people are not seeing. Okay, that you have again this like insight or knowledge that not everybody is privy to. Wow. Wow. So people really see a lot in you, and that's really amazing. Congrats on everything that you've accomplished. Thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I had doing it for you. Thank you again for the likes, for the subscribes, for the shares, comments. I appreciate all of those things. Thank you for letting the ads run even to show your support for this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember, it's never too late for your happily ever after, and looks like you got a lot of happily ever afters coming through for you soon. Take care, loves.